And welcome back, everyone, to the National Veterans Small Business Coalition's Charlie Mike Training Series. I'm Zach Armstrong, the Deputy Executive Director with the NVSBC, and I'll be your host today. Before I introduce our speaker, I'd like to share a few announcements with everybody. So it is our distinct pleasure to work closely with two of our contributing sponsors that make the Charlie Mike Training Series possible. First, BAE Systems, and second, Bank of America. We're grateful for both contributions to this training series that provides information and best practices to veteran-owned small businesses, all that support the federal government. The Charlie Mike Training Series is part of a suite of programs that's powered by the Community Navigator Pilot Program through the Small Business Administration. Many of you may not know, but the NVSBC is part of a hub and spoke network of all kinds of supportive organizations that provide resources to veteran entrepreneurs through the Community Navigator Pilot Program. So if you are interested or know someone who would be that is interested in helping navigate a path to success as a federal GovCon, I encourage you to reach out to NVSBC or go directly to the Community Navigator website and take action. Our VETS23 Conference, part of the reason we're here today, or at least there is a tie-in, but we'll be down in sunny Orlando, Florida again, May 22nd through 25th. Our speaker today, as I introduce Gloria, she'll be down at the conference with the team in a very big way. So register today. We have 30 breakout sessions. That's actually climbed up to 40 now. So we're really excited. Lots of breakout sessions, several general sessions, more than 20 hours of matched networking appointments. I know Gloria will share more about that as well, but we've listened, we've updated our programming. I think this is going to be our best stat. We're tracking to have 900 participants, sponsors, and exhibitors. So the most we've ever had, almost doubling last year. So a lot of good activity. Come see us at the VETS conference. Our DC networking dinner, one of our monthly activities. We have hundreds of GovCons. The GovCon ecosystem comes out. We have federal agencies, service providers, and more. Again, what we call the GovCon ecosystem, come to our networking dinners in DC. We also are starting to offer these in Huntsville, Alabama, Norfolk, Virginia. We'll be going to Tampa, Florida, as well as San Diego, California this year, and several more in 2024. So these networking dinners, come make connections, shake hands, learn, grow your business, and find your next teaming partner. The Vet Academy, what we pair up with our training side of the house. These happen right before our DC networking dinners. This is 60 minutes, question and answer. Again, our speaker, Gloria, could say all kinds of about her experience last month, but we bring the tip of the spear type of people who are on top of their game to present and provide in-person training to you. So I highly encourage, if you want to come network at our dinner, come be part of this training beforehand. It's a great combination and one of the best things that NVSBC offers. And why we're here today, Charlie Mike Training is one of 3 of our training programs, this being our virtual side of the house. All of them are available for you. This repository continues to grow on our YouTube channel. So please do sponsor, not sponsor, but subscribe, like, and view all kinds of videos for both newer GovCons and mature GovCons. We have a lot of great content here. And it is my privilege again, Zach Armstrong, to be your moderator today. I know I share moderating duties with my good friend and colleague, Earl Morgan, our program director, who is departing NVSBC to start his own SDVOSB as a photographer in May, so right after the conference. So if any of you know Earl, please do come to our conference, or he's going to be speaking at our next DC dinner, just to say goodbye and thank you. And if not, if you know him, send him a line. He'd be very grateful. So the last bit of housekeeping, I just want to say thank you to all of those who registered and sent in questions ahead of time. Had a chance to chat with Gloria ahead of time, along with Jenny and John. So the Target Gov team is ready to answer your questions. So we'll do some Q&A from the pre-questions as well as some live Q&A. But thank you to everyone there. And with that, I get a chance to introduce a good friend to the NVSBC, Gloria Larkin, President and CEO of Target Gov. I'd like to start out by saying NVSBC and Gloria have some strong history. As I alluded to, even this year, there's been a lot of synergy where, Target Gov comes and supports with training, with opportunities, and they have a lot to offer. So I highly encourage you, whether it's getting in person, seeing Gloria on stage at the conference or at a dinner or at a training. They have a lot to offer, and they're good friends, like I said, with NVSBC. So, whether you're trying to, the building blocks of GovCon, just presenting yourself and making the best impression possible, that's the start. But there's so much more as well, which Gloria will allude to or, share a little bit more about. So with that, my friend, Gloria, I'll turn it over to you, and you can take a moment to steal the screen away from me, and it's all yours.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Zach. I am super excited to be here today because what we're talking about is what's happening at VETS23 and how to leverage your time before, during, and after the conference. Today, we're talking about the matched networking process and the pitch contest. I'm hoping that you can see my screen okay. It looks like you can.
You're
So
all set,
I'll,
Gloria. It's looking good.
awesome. Great. So we have very exciting news to share. This is hot off the presses. The pitch contest is being sponsored by two SDVOSB companies. Decision Point as a titanium sponsor of the entire VETS23 conference, and Pingwind, Pingwind, and SDVOSB are sharing the sponsorship of the pitch contest. So we're super excited to welcome them aboard as sponsors. We'll tell you more about the pitch contest specifically. But let me tell you why this whole thing came about. With the concept of matchmaking, match networking, we heard from the decision makers, the people who sat on the other side of the table, that when business people would meet with them, they really were unclear how to present their companies effectively in a short period of time. And then when they went through the expo, they really did not know how to present themselves when they walked up to a table, a booth where, let's say, Department of Energy was, or Health and Human Services, or SOCOM. They didn't know how to get across in a very short period of time what their company was and what they did and how to be succinct and thorough and engaging. And then when there were networking times where businesses were networking with other businesses, how to be very engaging and interesting when talking about your business. And we were thinking, well, what can we do? How can we make that exciting and helpful and help businesses understand what you need to do to communicate accurately, engagingly, effectively, quickly, succinctly about your business in a fun way, and maybe even make some money doing it. And so we thought, let's have a contest. And the Who Said It Best elevator pitch competition was born. That happened about 5 years ago, before COVID. And we've done this competition a number of times through VETS conferences in the past and a few others. And now it is honed, it is perfected, and you've got the biggest prizes ever that we're going to talk about because of the titanium sponsors, Decision Point and Pingwind, that have stepped up to fund these prizes. $4,000 as first prize, $2,000 as second place, and $1,000 as third place if you want to compete to win. But I tell you what, you don't actually even have to compete to benefit, because there are some things that people don't want to do. And one of them is get in front of the entire conference and pitch about your business. So if that is not attractive to you and you don't want to compete, then you can still benefit by what I'm going to tell you today. So the agenda for today, let me get to the next slide here, is we've already talked about the prizes. We're going to talk about this pitch. And this pitch can be used throughout this entire conference during these matched networking sessions. And this is the first conference I've ever been to. And in 26 years of being in government contracting conferences, which now is, I'm going to guess, over 500 conferences that I've been to, I've never seen a conference that has put this much energy into getting networking down to a science, as many opportunities as you are going to have to meet with people who are interested in talking to you. And I don't mean the old-fashioned matchmaking that you're used to. This is different. This is why it has a different name of matched networking. This will be happening throughout the entire conference. And you'll hear more about it from the team at VETS23. They'll let you know all about how that's going to work. So this pitch that we're going to be teaching you today, and we'll offer free coaching after today with our expert coaches who will help you free, of course, no cost at all for our coaching. We want to help you be able, in 90 seconds or less, speak clearly, succinctly, and engaging about who you are, what you do, and encourage the person you're talking to want to have further conversations at another time after the conference, perhaps a capability briefing where you can go into further details about upcoming opportunities. This pitch has 6 critical sentences. We will go into exact detail of what those sentences include. We'll tell you 5 steps that you should take before the contest, whether you're going to compete or not. We'll give you the competition details today. We will also tell you about the complimentary coaching. And because you're on today's call, or if you're listening to this as a recording before the conference, anyone who is part of the VETS23 conference will have access to the complimentary coaching. That's our way of giving back. I'm going to introduce you to one of the best coaches around later in this session today, Mr. McQueen. You'll have a chance to meet him live today. We'll talk about how to submit a video and potentially gain a guaranteed space in the live competition. Very, very exciting. How the follow-up will happen if you do submit a video. We'll even share sample videos so that you can see what other people have done before you do yours. We'll give you some important dates and also share frequently asked questions that we've learned through the years of doing this pitch contest. And at the end of today, we'll answer your questions. So please, if you're thinking of questions today live, you can submit them in the chat feature as well. We want to get to as many questions as we possibly can. So we want you to know that you can enter ahead of the live VETS23. This is what's so exciting about this. You don't have to wait. Hold on. You don't have to wait until the conference. You can enter ahead of time via a video. And I'm going to give you those details in just a few minutes. Now, for those of you who don't like the concept of competition, but you want to learn about how to give a pitch, everything I'm going to tell you is very appropriate for you as far as the actual pitch will go. So stay tuned. Remember, you don't need to have the added pressure of the competition if you don't want to be in the competition on stage. But if that competition lights your fire and you want to get up there and you want to compete for that first place prize of $4,000 or the second place of $2,000 or the third place of $1,000, thanks to Decision Point and Penguin, more power to you. Would love to have you up there and competing for these cash prizes because it is kind of exciting. Not only will you gain bragging rights, but you'll walk away with that cash prize, well, in the form of a check, because we're not going to carry a suitcase full of money out. That's just dangerous for everybody. But it does lend a lot of excitement to be able to pitch your company to the entire conference. That is in front of all of the attendees, all of the government attendees, all of the business attendees, all of the prime contractors as well. The contest itself will be on Tuesday of the conference, May 23rd at 4:15 p.m. So get ready for that and mark your calendars. If you decide to participate by submitting your video early or participating at the conference itself. So now let's go ahead and focus in on how it starts off with the elevator pitch itself in the Who Said It Best pitch. We want you to first develop this concept of a networking pitch describing your business. And I am going to give you the content of that in an upcoming slide. The idea is to be very clear and succinct. You know what that's like when you've been in a room and everybody goes around and everybody stands up and some people mumble about their business. You don't know what they've said. You don't know who they are. You don't know the name of their business. And when they sit down, you have no idea what they do. That's common. And frankly, decision makers feel exactly the same way during matchmaking. And we don't want you to have that same experience. Instead, we want you at VETS23 to have the most powerful return on your investment of time in this conference. We want you to meet decision makers. We want them to remember who you are. We want you to be able to get capability briefings after the conference with decision makers at the agencies and with other businesses, whether they're prime contractors or teaming partners, because that's the ROI of these conferences, is what happens after, where you start making those connections to win contracts. Now, remember, as a business, as a veteran or service disabled veteran or small business, no business does everything. You want to start getting focused in on your capabilities. There are 6 sentences that we want you to be able to easily roll off your tongue at the conference to anyone that you meet, whether it's in the expo, whether you're having a cocktail, you're having coffee, or you're in an elevator, in a literal elevator. When you enter with a video, we will also send you a social media kit that you can use to start promoting yourself and your company. So under the graphic that you see on the screen right now, we are going to send you a logo that says, I've entered to win, and watch my pitch video so that you can then promote your company even before the conference starts with the video that you've created to pitch your own company. You'll be able to post your own video on YouTube and then put it in a link on your own email. You can put a link on your own website. You can put a link in LinkedIn. You'll be able to use this video to promote your own company as many times and places as you would like in the future. And guess what? We will promote your company too. If you decide to create a video and submit it early as part of your competition in the VETS23 Who Said It Best elevator pitch contest. So stay tuned. Let me go to the next slide. All right, now, whether you're going to participate in the contest or not, if you're just learning, you just want to come and learn how to have a succinct, clear elevator pitch to just use at the conference, whether it's this conference or any conference in the future. There are 6 critical sentences that you want to incorporate, and you can use your own words. But these are the talking points that you want to start with. And believe it or not, the first one sounds so obvious, but you know people forget this. You want to start with your name, your title, and your company name. So many people forget your name, your title, and your company name. A lot of people start off with, we are an SDVOSB, or we're a veteran-owned company. And that, frankly, can be a turn-off for some decision makers. They don't want to hear your socioeconomic status first. They want to hear who you are, your title, and your company name. And I'm going to tell you a little bit of a secret now. The judges for this contest want to hear your company name 3 times, not 1 time, throughout this pitch, which is 90 seconds long. They want to hear your company name 3 times. Just work it in throughout the entire 90 seconds, maybe at the beginning, at the middle, and again at the end. Say it clearly and succinctly. If you have an accent, make sure you enunciate clearly. I'm from Baltimore, and you notice that I speak slowly and clearly. You don't hear the Baltimore accent at all. I can certainly speak with a Baltimore accent, but I try not to. So make sure you speak clearly and succinctly. The second is describing exactly what you provide, whether it's services or products or both, that you can prove you do. So this is the kicker. Don't describe everything under the sun that you think you can do if you hire the right people or buy the right products. Describe what you can prove you have done. Okay? This is what is important for this pitch. Because you have 90 seconds. You don't have 9 minutes or 90 minutes. 90 seconds. That's 1.5 minutes. And I know some people think that it's easier to describe products as services, but frankly, people who think it's easier to describe services than products. Everybody thinks what the other thing is easier than what they provide. So we'll work with you. Our coaches will work with you to help you describe whatever it is you provide. Then the next sentence would be, our core competencies are. And we're using government terminology because this is government contracting. We're not talking about the private sector now. We're not talking about corporate contracting or any other contracting. This is federal contracting. They want to hear federal speak. So that's what we're doing. We're using jargon relating to the federal market. So that's what you want to say. And our core competencies are, again, related to what you can prove you've done. Please remember to go ahead and type in your questions into chat if you have them as they come into your mind, and we'll address them as we get to Q&A. Now, this one is exciting. Instead of saying we have past performance with SOCOM and Department of Energy and just list a bunch of agencies, or it doesn't have to be federal. You can say we've done work with non-federal customers as well. You can use corporate clients, you can use city, county, state, local governments. You can use even commercial or consumer clients. But the thing of it is, you don't want to just list names of clients. Here, you actually want to tell a little bit of a story about your past performance. What did you do for a few of those key past performance customers? That tells the story of your core competencies and your past performance, and work in your differentiators. What makes you different about the work that you've done? The differentiators are some of the most difficult discussion points for companies to talk about. And what I mean by that is many people fall back on words that really aren't differentiators. They'll say, you know, we're a service disabled veteran, or our people make us different. And frankly, I've never heard anybody say our people aren't so good. You know, everybody says our people are great. So what is it about your people that make you great? Is it that your team has an extraordinary level of training? If you're in construction, do you have a high safety record? Or if you're in cybersecurity? Does your team have a very high level of certifications? What is it about your people that make them truly different? If you're telling a story that combine the core competencies, past performance, and differentiators, start working metrics about your work into it. So for instance, let's say you may be pulling cable. You install cable or FiOS into buildings, and you've been in business for 7 years. And in those 7 years, you've added up all of the cable you've installed, and you can say that we've installed over 1,000 miles of cable, which amounts to, I don't know how many million feet of cable that is. And the target that you're speaking with says, well, heck, our job is only, 1,000 feet of cable, or whatever their metric is. They perceive you as more than capable of handling the work that they need to have done. Or if you're in construction and you can say that we've installed 10,000 square feet of drywall, and they think, well, then you can certainly install the 1,000 feet that we need. Or if you're in staffing and you can say that we have been able to place 500 full-time equivalents, and they see, well, we only need 10 full-time equivalents. Can you see how metrics can tell the story of what your company is able to do? Again, we're happy to help you with coaching. We'll tell you at the end of the session today how to reach out for complimentary coaching because you're part of the webinar. Or if you're listening to this as a recording, we will still offer you the complimentary coaching because we want you to have a chance to shine at VETS23 Conference. Whether you're just going to the conference and you want to be very successful in the match networking sessions, if you want to be very successful in the expo, if you want to find a great teaming partner, or if you want to compete in the elevator pitch contest, all of this will come into play then. What's the last sentence that's important is how you can help them, whether it's an agency, it's an office in the agency, or it's a company. You might need to think on your feet depending on who it is you're speaking with, but we can help you by providing XYZ. By providing the people, by providing the service, by providing the products. What is it that you provide that will help them? So think about these 6 sentences, not just for VETS23, but if you and every single person in your company could say these 6 sentences cleanly, crisply, succinctly to anybody they meet in any environment, comfortably, just imagine the impression that they will leave about your company. More and more people will want to know more about how they can work with you. You can rush through this in 30 seconds, but I don't want you to do that. 90 seconds is the elevator pitch length that we want you to be ready for. So before the actual contest, We also want to take your time, perfect your registrations in sam.gov and the Small Business Dynamics Search, which is your SBA profile. If you have questions about that, reach out to us. We'll let you know. Creating your strong niche statement is those 6 sentences. That is a strong niche statement about who you are, what you do, how you can help them, which is then practicing it. Don't just put it on a piece of paper and read it silently. Practice it out loud. We sound different in our brain than we do out loud. So use your phone, use the voice memo, and practice it in your car, someplace where you can record it and listen to it, time it, practice it while you're stuck in traffic so that you can hear it, fine tune it, listen to it over and over again so that you can get it down so it rolls off your tongue and you feel comfortable and confident in saying it. Get your capability statements ready. If you need any help with that, reach out. We're happy to help you with those capability statements. And remember, talk about your past performance, what you've done up to now. Get that ready to roll off your tongue as well and in your capability statement. So let's roll into how to talk about your video. All right, in the first column here on the light blue column, how to enter the pitch live. Let's talk to everybody who is really up for the competition. It's exciting, it's fun to enter the competition, and it might be a stretch for you. So don't worry. Before you even enter the competition, call us up and ask for some coaching before you do the video. We're happy to help you with this, so you're not going in cold. Practice on your phone. Call us up for coaching. Then you'll record your pitch on your phone. Is fine way to do it. Post it to a YouTube channel for your own business. If you don't have one, it's free. Create it. And then you'll tag it with that hashtag VETS23, who said it best, and you'll sign up online. We'll send you all of the information that you need in the follow-up email that you'll receive after today's session. And in the right-hand column, in the white right-hand column, you can always email us at events@targetgov.com. You'll let us know that the email is ready to share with us. We'll send you social media graphics and a kit to promote your video so you can send it out and start using it everywhere. You'll be very proud of what you've accomplished, and then we will submit it to the pitch competition team, and you'll be entered to compete into the video portion of the Who Said It Best pitch competition. What will happen is there will be a selection made of top contestants out of the video selections. We won't select the winner. We'll select the top contestants out of the winners, out of the top contestants out of the videos. Then at the live VETS23, there are a few openings for contestants to come live at the VETS23 conference for a few open slots. We cannot guarantee how many there will be. There might be 2 or 3 only. So if you submit a video ahead of time, you have a much better chance of a guaranteed spot at the VETS23 conference. If you don't submit a video, we cannot guarantee that you'll have a competitive slot at the live conference. So the sooner you get a video in, the better it is. And it's easy. You just do it right on your cell phone and send it in. So there will be finalists from both the video portion and a few from the live conference as well that will compete live on May 23rd from 4:15 to 5:30 in front of the entire conference and competing for the $4,000, the $2,000, the $1,000 prizes that are sponsored by the fabulous sponsors Decision Point and Ping Win. We're so happy about that. Okay, so as we talk about the complimentary coaching, right now I'd like to introduce one of our fabulous coaches. John, can you come on?
Yes, I can. I'm on screen right now. I'm pumped up. I'm fired up, and everybody should be too. We're so excited to have you participate and hopefully want to participate in the Who Said It Best competition. Remember, this is just like in talking to your best friend. For those that say, John, this is kind of tough for me. No, this is going to be easy for you because we're going to show you how, and we're going to work with you. Look forward to you.
Absolutely, John. Now, you've done this a number of times before, right?
Yes, I have. And I have my #1 wins to prove it.
Yes, you do. You feel as though you've actually are the winner, even though you don't walk away with the prize.
That's correct.
That's indeed the case. So, whether you're working with John or one of our other coaches, we're here to help you do your best, either through the contest itself or simply working on your pitch so that you can use your pitch when you're meeting with agencies, when you're meeting with prime contractors, or meeting with potential teaming partners, other small businesses. We're here to help you do your best. So, John, thanks for coming on right now.
Thank you.
We'll look forward to having you coach some of the folks before the conference through video or over the phone, however they'll reach out. Thanks so much. So to do that, email fast@targetgov.com, or you can give us a call, whatever you'd like. Or at the conference, stop by our booth. We have the Target Gov booth, and John or one of the team will be there to help coach you, complimentary to get you ready for the contest or simply to do better at your pitch so that you feel confident when you're speaking to anyone that you want to reach out to at the VETS23 conference in Florida. So our team is ready to work with you, whether it's John, me, or any of the other coaches that will be at the conferences. We've got over 25 years experience here at Target Gov. The whole point of our business is to help your business grow and succeed. We've helped our clients win over $10 billion in federal contracts. And I know we've got some questions. This is busy. I'm not going to read the how to submit the video. We will give you this PDF of the PowerPoint with all of the details on how to submit the video. So don't worry, you will receive this at the end of the webinar. And if you're listening to this as a recording, of course, you will receive this as well. After you submit your video, we will follow up with you, give you confirmation that we've received it. If you don't receive that, make sure you just reach out to anybody here at Target Gov. We'll be happy to answer any questions that you have about this entire process because we want you to feel confident and comfortable that it's being done the right way. We even have some sample videos for you to see from previous contestants so that you can see what's been done in the past. And this way, you know what has been done. You're not the first to do this. So we'll give you these links as well. They're live links. When you see when you receive the PDF, you'll just click on the link and be able to check them out. Important dates to know: May 16th, the deadline is the deadline is the deadline. You know, like an RFP, you got to get it to us so that if you're sending a video, we can then determine who the finalists are. And then we'll see you at the VETS conference, May 22nd through the 25th, and the live competition on May 23rd. We've got a couple of frequently asked questions pages, but right now what I'd like to go into is the live questions. Zach, how about if I turn it over to you for the live questions?
That sounds great, Gloria. Thank you so much. So a few questions from registrants. First question is, if my company does a variety of things, how do I determine what is the best way to communicate my spiel? So I think you went into this a little bit, but maybe there's a way to refine or kind of vector back to what you were talking about before.
Exactly. First, think of what you can prove. And so where's your strongest past performance? Remember, when you're in a conference, you only have a very small window of time to gain their attention, whether it's at a contest or just standing in front of them at a booth. So you can't tell them everything under the sun. Just tell them a story of one of your most compelling past performances. And then say, how about if we exchange cards? And I'd be happy to reach out to you after the conference where we can have a more in-depth conversation or a capability briefing. So that way you don't have to worry about trying to say everything that you can do, and instead you focus on a compelling story with your past performance.
I appreciate the additional context there, but kind of going back to past performance is key. All right, next question is, I try to involve all of the senses in my marketing, and there's much written on that topic, but I've seen really successful companies engage imagination. So, heard of this called the sixth sense. How do I get people to imagine themselves in my store or riding my product, riding my bikes?
Riding your bikes. Wow. Anybody who's ridden a bike had to learn, right? And so you could ask them to remember, what did it feel like the very first time you learned to ride a bike? And get them thinking about that feeling that they had. Reach out to our coach, whether it's John or one of our other coaches, engendering that level of wonder and excitement that riding a bike brings, the air through your hair, or if you don't have any, the air through your helmet. We'll help you figure that out. I think that sounds like a lot of fun. Would look forward to talking to you one-on-one.
Okay, a couple more, and I encourage everyone as I'm reading these, please do type your questions in the chat if you want me to share those with Gloria. But a couple more here. Some of the blocking and tackling about the pitch competition, Gloria. Where do I sign up? And do I need to be an attendee at the conference in order to eligible to pitch?
I'll answer the last one first. So yes, you do need to be an attendee at the VETS23 conference in order to be a participant in the contest. Absolutely. That's a benefit of being a participant at the conference. You got to pay to win. So highly encourage you. But oh my gosh, this conference is going to be sold out. So hopefully you can still get a ticket, right? You can still get a ticket if they.
It's true. Yeah, we're less than 100, to be very frank. Yeah, it's close. Yep.
Register today. Yeah, there you go. This is going to be a fabulous conference. And make sure that you use this whole pitch idea everywhere, at coffee, at the networking breaks, at breakfast, at lunch. So you will rock your results, your ROI out of the conference. You'll get such high results, better than any other conference you've been to, when you fine tune your pitch and just use it all the time, in addition to participating in the conference.
Yep. Okay, a couple more. That's perfect. I hear this one in different variations, so I know you'll knock this one out of the park, Gloria, but it says, during the elevator pitch, should I mention that I'm a service-disabled veteran-owned small business? Or during the elevator pitch, should I explain to the business owner like my capabilities and wait for them to ask about my status?
You know, I would mention that towards the end of the pitch, especially if you're bringing that into a story of one of your past performances. You know, you could work it in. Let's say, for instance, you did work at SOCOM. You would say, as a service disabled veteran owned company, we really understood the needs of SOCOM and XYZ, XYZ. You know, you bring the reason you felt that you were a good match for that customer because you are a veteran owned or a service disabled veteran owned company, or an 8A, or a woman owned, or whatever type of uh, certification you own. Make it salient to what you're talking about.
Perfect. All right, try to get a couple more in here. I'd like to know more about marketing or pitching a services-based company over a product-based company, which says I find easier to identify the scale and units sold versus perceived value services. So
We
I'd like to
love
learn a
this.
little bit more about narrative and your recommendations on how to go about that.
Oh, we love this. We love this. We love this because, frankly, the government buys billions of dollars, hundreds of billions of dollars in services. And so the vast majority of companies we work with are service-based companies. And those metrics around services are really something that we excel at. So would be happy to talk to you one-on-one on what those services are. You know, are they legal services, accounting services, cyber services, HR services, whatever they are? Those services can be, we can help you determine what those metrics are around them. They don't have to be linear feet or pounds or, you know, square miles. It's something that we can help you understand how to put metrics around them.
I love the metrics piece. All right, this last piece, and this might be an offline, but it's talking about someone who's navigating being a part-time employee of the VA and also selling product to the VA. How do they gain preferred status while working part-time? I don't know if
You
you want to
know,
comment on that.
that question is a legal question, and I know that there are going to be some fabulous law firms exhibiting at the conference, and you definitely want to talk to those law firms and ask them that exact question.
All right, perfect. We have a minute or so left. If anybody has any last minute questions for Gloria or the Target Gov team. So I'll give you 30 more seconds here. But, you know, while doing that, I'll just say, you know, Gloria, we sincerely appreciate you making time. I should be on camera here. Sorry about that. But we sincerely appreciate you and the Target Gov team making time. We know that you offer a lot in terms of coaching here and so much more. So we highly encourage
Absolutely.
anybody here to meet with Gloria, meet with the team down at the conference, and before the conference, take advantage of all of what they're offering to you for free. So thank you again, Gloria.
Absolutely. My pleasure. I know that Jenny and John are going to come on screen, and I think you are going to share screen for a little bit more.
We certainly will. Yes.
I am going to sign off. You're in excellent hands. It's been an honor, and I look forward to seeing everybody at VETS23. And thanks to Decision Point and Penguin for sponsoring the Who Said It Best elevator pitch competition. So
Take
long,
care.
everybody.
All right. So with that, thank you, Gloria. John, I don't know if you or Jenny want to chat on the handouts. I'm going to try to get Jenny on the screen as well. So bear with me a moment here. We still have a few minutes for questions. If anybody has any, please let us know. No one's going to ask questions. I might just catch up with John and talk about our home state where we grew up and
That's
all
right.
kinds of
That's right. That's
pleasantries
right.
here.
I love it, Zach. I love it.
Thank you, Jenny.
Hi. I just wanted to reiterate at the last slide that was there that we will provide you the handouts from the session for the matchmaking pitch. We'll provide you that Target Gov critical 6 sentences for your elevator pitch, so you can print it out, share it with your team, get their input, have a brainstorming session, really drill down and get your elevator pitch ready, and an event and engagement planning and execution process form that we have available for everybody to really plan and be strategic about your time. One of the wonderful things about VETS23 is that there's so much information available online right now about the conference, who's attending, who's exhibiting, the agencies that are going to be there. We know it's a big expense for you to come. You want to make the most of your time. Competing in the pitch is a part of that. Participating in that match networking is going to be extremely valuable for you and your company. And sitting down and planning your time before the conference to map out who's attending what session, what track are you want to be on, who is your must meet with while you're at the conference. So use this event engagement planning and execution form to make the most of this amazing opportunity that you and your teams have while you're at the conference. Because that ROI and that building those relationships and moving forward is an essential piece. So email us at fast@targetgov.com and we will send you all of this information. Thanks.
Appreciate it. Jenny, that was fantastic. Thanks for all those the lovely shout outs, but we're looking forward to seeing both of you and, smiling faces. John, any other parting words or any other comments from the audience here before we wrap up?
Yeah, so one question came in about the matchmaking link. Is that available to schedule the matches yet?
Oh, great question. So we're just about to send out a notice to any participant, anyone who's registered for the conference, giving those instructions. So if you are registered, you should receive that shortly. But with how comprehensive this is, there are still a couple tweaks we're trying to make so that can be an exceptional process for all of the speakers and the folks that you want to communicate with. We're giving them that opportunity so they can lock in their times. So then all of us can go in and schedule that time with them. Jenny, thanks for bringing that up. I actually can't see the chat at the moment. So if anybody else is in the chat,
I've got it live. I think that's it. And we want to thank Alexander for asking that question. He says,
Yes.
Thanks for the presentation. He's looking forward to meeting everybody at VETS. So,
all right.
Yeah.
So
remember
with that,
your business cards.
Yeah.
Everybody. Yeah.
You'll hear our executive director always talk about the business cards, but on behalf of the board of directors at NVSBC, our staff, members of our coalition, I want to thank Jenny. I want to thank John. I want to thank Gloria and all the behind the scenes at Target Gov to make this pitch competition exceptional, because it is. You guys do a great job. And with that, I just want to thank our sponsors, BAE Systems and Bank of America. And for everyone watching, if you have any questions, please email contact@nvsbc.org. And you can join us, register for our events at nvsbc.org. And until next time, take care, everyone.
Thanks. See you soon.